Okay. So we're really at our home stretch, I think. We've had one session on this topic of time, space, and the now. I might start with you guys this morning just to check in to see how you went with the homework, which was to revisit that final session 3 of the OMG, time, space, and the now. And also just to check in with you guys, like what ponderings have you had about time, space, and the now? Personally, I feel there's, a lot was said in the last session. And, I want to kind of check in with you guys. I've been getting you guys more involved in the pondering just to see how your pondering is going with this. So, I'm going to start with you guys this morning. How is the FTW crew going? You guys have been, well, not everyone's FTW, but you know what I mean. Most of you FTW, but you guys have been on this journey for a while now. Yeah, you stick it out. We do the next thing. We take trips. We've been sharing the journey for a long time. What's been happening? How's your pondering going? Who wants to share? How are you going, Kira? That means you need to unmute yourself. Because you're like, just want to check in with you. You're like all over the place. I mean, not all over the place. You're
physically all over the place.
In lots of places at the same time. So
I'm transcending time and space.
And how's that been working for you?
It's okay. I'm not really sure what to say. I listened to Fanny and I talked about actually the recording, which I listened to again this morning, and I've taught a course on presence recently, which I didn't really mean to come up with that topic. It just happened to align with this. And so it's been like on my mind in even more of a way, on like living in the now and noticing the specific, I guess, just reference points of when I'm not, and how often that really is, as different between presence as it's taking place in the story and what you say about actually being in the now, where there is that sense of timelessness, that where and the way I guess I think of that is you almost lose yourself in the moment.
You lose the identity self.
Yeah. Yeah. Not like, because you're connected to being here, So that's been just, I've been present with that and noticing the different things that have taken me away. It's almost been, even though we've been talking about different things, or you've been talking about different things that I've been listening to, but you as a group, I feel like that's we too, because I feel like I'm a part of that. But it's just been very much on like the practical side of it, like the integration of this, which is what I kind of got out of the whole module of time, space, and the now. You leave that module with this, something along the lines of like, you're talking about the now, like all of this is accessible to you now. And it's not really accessible, like, it becomes a tool or it becomes a technique to talk about manifestation, or to me, this is the way I'm processing it anyway. Like, everything that you have and all these modules and all the different, you know, things that you go through, like when the ego is doing it, it's not, that's not it, you know. And I notice.
Cool. So you worked that out.
But for me, the reflection is, or the observation is, how often I don't realize that it's coming from that. You know, Jamie spoke about that the other day in the session too, like realizing when you drop into that deeper level or that deeper knowing, how much it's not when you're not, but you don't know when it's not a lot of times. You know, you think that I am present, I am here, I'm experiencing, you know, and then you'll have this moment of, if you want to call it awakening, where it's like, oh, that wasn't even it.
Yeah.
You know, and not even from like a larger span of time or journey, but it could be washing the dishes, where I just notice I'm fucking somewhere else. You know, I'm thinking about some future possibility, or I found that a lot of what I've been pondering has been the actual literal being here now, and focusing on that, you know, more than thinking about the pondering of getting something or getting somewhere. I just have been wanting to be here, and with whatever, you know, that is, and just noticing.
Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. And I know there are many people who are maybe here currently or in the future who listen to these will relate to that, because you'll be like, oh my God, I'm still not working out which is which, you know? And that's half the battle, half the journey is, you know, this whole idea of just letting go. You know, they say, you know, you just let go. It's, you know, it's a process and a journey, and you're letting go this. What are you letting go of? You're letting go of the identity, the ego's, you know, wanting to be in control. That's pretty much what it is. It's the ego wanting to be in control. But my point is, it's a journey, and you're letting go little bits, and you're feeling lighter and lighter as you go on your journey, and you're feeling freer and freer, and you're feeling more expanded and more expanded, because you're letting go, and then you find a little bit that it's so sneaky that you didn't even notice that, oh my God, I just realized I've been manipulating this, or I've been controlling this, or wanting to control this. And but you know, that whole part never works out, and it's designed not to work out. So it work out momentarily, so then you think you're on track, that it's working out, but it doesn't. You know, that's the whole point. It kind of feeds you. You know, the ego feeds you a little bit of reality, a little bit of certainty, a little bit of possibility, a little bit of, yeah, if I just take 2 more steps, I'm there. If I, you know, but I know that, you know, I feel heavy about this, but I'm almost there. And, you know, it's just, you know, and sometimes, like you said, Kira, you don't even know that you were in the heaviness. It takes you letting go and being light for you to realize that you were in heavy. So, and that's normal. That's normal. And, you know, that's part of the journey. But don't, you know, beat yourself up. I know you don't. Well, you know, some people can find themselves beating themselves. I'm still playing this game. Yeah, but like, you're playing it at a much deeper level. You're playing at a much greater level. Like, you forget how heavy you used to be because you're used to the lightness. And then you have a moment of heaviness because you realize, oh, I've been following this feeling that's totally not my feeling, totally agenda driven, but I didn't even know I was doing that. But yeah, there's going to be little pockets that will pop up. So that's just normal. I was just watching, saw on Facebook, Jay Shetty. I follow him on Facebook, and he's got some cool stuff. You know, the guy, he used to be a Buddhist monk, and he was doing a podcast with someone who I don't know who they are, but they're talking about that the girl, I think she's an actress or something, but she was talking about how, you know, when I put my intention out there and I want to do things and I go for things, then it's like all the things that, like she was basically describing the opposite of it, you know, shows up. And I'm like, yeah, because you're playing in polarity. And she's like, no, because she was saying how she's more aware because she's now, you know, she's putting her intention there. This is what I'm doing. I'm putting my intention for this for my day. But then the things that that weren't there before, the opposite of that, of, you know, maybe the hurdles will start showing up. These aren't her words, but that's what she was describing. I'm like, that's exactly what you do. It's the polarity. You focus on one side, you focus on success, you're going to see all the possibilities of failure. That's just what happens, right? So anyway, but she was saying that happens because I'm more aware, because it's like, well, anyway. But anyway, I'm getting off point here. That what I liked about what Jay Shetty said, he goes, well, when I was a monk, they taught us that if you go and you want to clean out a room, you know, when you start sweeping, all the dust goes everywhere at first. I just thought, you know, what a brilliant analogy or metaphor that the monks use. You know, when you want to clean out the room, you start sweeping, things get worse, you know, because the dust is all picked up. So what I wanted to do is continue with that analogy and say that, you know, as you've cleaned up, you know, on your journey, there's still little pockets of dust somewhere. And then you go find more dust and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe there's more dust here. But that's what happens. The dust will continue, you know, you didn't get it all in one go. You're not meant to. Anyway, did you want to say something?
Yeah, that's all right.
All right, well, we have to turn the camera to you.
Just leave it there. I'll just talk.
No, it's all right. There you go.
Yeah, so in the third module that I was going over, there's something that you say about you wish there was a disease that where people could only relate to, I think it was a matter of time, like, you know, 10 seconds or 10 days or whatever, to the past or the future. So they're so living in the here and now. And I felt like, in pondering on that, I felt like there already is a dis-ease in being in time. You know, there's so much discomfort, like what you're saying, because I feel that in myself, especially in my own process of late, when I'm not in the here and now, which I notice in my relationship with the now, although it may be deeper, I still notice how much I'm not in the now, like heaps. And the discomfort of that, you know. So I feel like it was a really interesting point that you brought up, because you don't need the dis-ease to be in the now. You already noticed the dis-ease in not being in the now. It was a really poignant point for me. And I found this part of the module, like this last 6 months, you know, we talk about it's very inward in the beginning. There's a lot of processing. I feel like, you know, there has been a lot of that processing for me over the years, but this part is the living of it. And I feel like this time around, this last 6 months has been very humbling for me, because I feel like it's reminding me how much I'm not living it. Yeah. You know, so it's been really humbling. I feel like I'm beginning again.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, with you guys, we have always, you know, some of you guys, we've been on this journey for well over 5 years. Well over 5 years. I mean, I've been doing aviation for 5 years. So, and you guys have been around well before that. So, I mean, I would dare to say some of you guys have been sharing this journey together 7, 8, 9, maybe years. You know, I don't know. Like it's been but I would say most of you on this session today has been well over 5 years. And, you know, and here we are as a group who, you know, most of us did the OMG program together in person, live. And then you guys got the recording of it, and And I would say most of you went through the whole program again, and you did it again. And I know for a fact that you had so much more insights. And here we are as a group going through it again as a group. You went through it individually. Now we're going through it as a group. And again, so many insights. And, you know, as we come closer to the home stretch of, you know, the OMG program, as we're doing it as a group, it's becoming very clear to me that we're going to now go over this again, OMG intensive, but not from a content point of view. OMG intensive, or this, what we've been doing in the last 12 months has been content driven, because it's taking what it's because I'm kind of, OMG was over 5-7 years old, and I'm completely new. I'm in a different place. So I re-delivered it at a much deeper level. But I know personally, I want to go through, once we've finished this 12 months or 15 months, it might be 15 because we might just go all the way through and do the bonus sessions as well. The I am, the imagination and purity. So, like I'm super keen to go and re-listen to everything. You know, it's just like, because, but not just listen to it and actually talk about it. I want to listen to it and just make sure personally I've integrated everything. Me. You know, I want to make sure there's not one little pocket here or there that I've kind of missed. You know, that's becoming clear for me that that's what I'm going to be doing. You know, whether I do it with you guys or just do it by myself, I will be getting the content and listening to it over again and just ensuring, yep, you know, and just allowing that to take me deeper. So we'll talk about if you guys want to do that as part of our group coaching, or maybe we might go a different direction after we finish. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's you know, it's interesting. I'm listening to the conversation and what we're conversing about at the moment. It's just leading into the next session. It's almost like we just started the next session, which is about the journey, the journey and the truth to the journey and the truth to it. I think it's called. You know, it's such a process. I noticed myself going into the journey, which I'm kind of just held myself back. I might just hold that until we've actually completed this fully. Yeah. But I think bringing it back to time and space, you know, where the journey becomes difficult or you experience resistance or suffering from your journey is when you think that the journey is leading you to the future. It's leading you to be more conscious. You know, we use this journey, this process, in the same way, in the old way, where we would place our attention on the future and going, well, if I can get this outcome or result, then my life will improve. But this whole work is about being completely here and feeling the aliveness and the awareness in this state right now. And when we're not here and we're not feeling that aliveness right here, right now, we are then looking to, you know, manifest or create outcomes or result that are going to give us that aliveness. But the thing is, You know, it's interesting. It's like the chicken and the egg story. Did the egg come first, or did the chicken come first? You know, this process that kind of, you know, you need to find yourself in, or you need to be aware of, is when you're not present, when you're not in the now, then your attention is in the outcome. So when you're not being in the now, you continuously take your attention to the future or borrow energy from the past as you reflect to the future, and you're looking for a feeling of aliveness or love, or whatever you want to call it. You're looking for a feeling of aliveness from the product of that outcome or result. If I can attain that outcome or result, I will feel alive. So when you're not here, your attention naturally will go there. If you're not here in the now, your attention will naturally go there, right? And you're like, where am I going, right? But also, when your attention is there in the outcome and result, when you keep going to the outcome and result, you're not here. So it's like the chicken and egg. Which one happens first? Is it because I'm not here that my attention goes to the outcome and result? Or is it that my attention is on the outcome and result and therefore I'm not here? I mean, it's the same as the chicken and egg. Which one happens first? I don't know. I can't tell you. It's just I notice that when I'm not present and I'm not here in the now and feeling the aliveness of this moment of the now, then I'm always thinking about the future. Like, I'm thinking about the outcome and result. And there's nothing wrong with reflecting or projecting to the future. It's projecting to the future and going, what will it owe me? What will it give me? People go, well, how do you live your life in the now if you're not thinking about it? Yeah, but it's most people think into the future and they want to set their net on it and go, well, what am I going to get from that moment that's to come? Rather than, you know, being in the moment and projecting into the future, right? And going, this is what I want to bring. This is what I want to give. This is what I want to share. So again, nothing wrong with projecting in the future. It's most people are but the problem is when you project into the future and going, it will give me this. No. What do you want to give it? What do you want to bring it? That's the question. The infinite wants to bring, it wants to share. The ego wants to get and gain. It's like, precious. What can I get? So it's this dance of awareness of becoming aware, you know. Well, I'm in the future and looking at how this result or outcome can better me about how I feel about myself, bring more aliveness to myself. But was I there because I wasn't here? You know, last session, I spoke about, you know, coming back into speaking. I could have easily fallen into the thoughts of, well, I did go into the future and I did go into the past. So then I fell into the thoughts and the feelings. I fell into the thoughts. I didn't really fall into the emotions. I caught myself before I did. Probably I felt the emotions, but I didn't. It's like a quicksand. Like I got myself before it got me all the way. Where I started to go, well, was it worth me going into aviation for 5 years? I took 5 years off my purpose, off my purpose, off what I was doing, off, because it was a childhood dream and I wanted to accomplish it. It's funny though, in the story, just as I say that as a reminder, it comes to me that this is happening right now as I'm speaking to you. You never left speaking to become a pilot. You left speaking because you were following a feeling. Then, and only then, did it get revealed to you that, hey, it's time for me to play for 5 years and I'm going to go become a pilot, which is so true. That's what answer just popped into my head as I'm talking to you. But I mean, that's the truth. I never knew where I was going. I just stopped speaking, which is even more scarier. It makes more sane. It's more sense for people to go, well, you left speaking because you wanted to accomplish your childhood dream. No, I left speaking because I felt not to speak and I was going nowhere. I had nowhere to go. That's even more frightening for some people. So isn't that interesting? This is my own self-talk. This is my own intuition. This is my own sharing with you my own process right now as it's unfolding. I'll tell you something else. This is my current in the moment process. Like, this is so new. I'm trying to capture it as it's coming. It's been 12 months that I've decided, or it was decided, however you want to call it. It's been 12 months since I decided to come back to speaking. And, I'm sharing this because I want to show you that you're not the only one that kind of falls in your old ways, if you like. It's how I fall in my old ways now is I'm falling in my old ways with awareness. So I don't get stuck in it. Like I may have the thought of where could I be right now? And that thought is there because I'm not in the now. Yes. And I might have an emotion. I'm like, wow, because I can see like friends of mine who are speakers or, and are on a similar path or similar industry, and where they are in 5 years, and there could be an emotion there, but it's about like there's an awareness with all that, so that the awareness catches you before you're gone, because when you're gone it just becomes like a spiral or a spin. Like in aviation, we have spins and we have spiral dives. Both are very dangerous. One doesn't have power, one does. It's interesting. Um, so where I was leading with that is that, 12 months ago when I decided to come back to speaking, again, the process was I felt like you know the process. I've ticked all the boxes in aviation, and I was like, I want to come back to what I'm made to do, right? And as I come back to this world, immediately you go to what I used to do. I went to the past. My immediate response was, all right, let's put on an event. Let's start hiring people. Let's build a team because that's what I'm good at. Let's build a team. Let's put on an event. The very first event I did this time last year, or a bit further back, maybe 13, 14 months ago, last year, 13 months ago. So I got up on stage and I did a WTF, and I did this WTF for in a day. And as I finished and I got off stage, I went, that ain't it. Like, not that I don't want to come back and speak and share, but that ain't it. Why did I do that? Because that's what I knew. Because that's what I did in the past. I was a speaker. I was more of a speaker than a coach. Okay? So, see, I went to what was working, but it's just about catching it straight away and going, that ain't it. I don't really feel to speak in that way. It's not going to be like before where I'm doing a WTF around the world or different cities. That ain't it. So what is it? I check in with my feeling. I want to share. That's all I know. I want to share. So then, obviously, if you've watched my journey over the last 12 months, I haven't done one talk. Not one. I mean, months before. Not a live one anyway. I've done things online. It's been all online. I'm not capturing exactly what I want to say to you, to be honest. But the point is, it's normal for you to go to the past. Don't think to yourself, oh well, it's normal. Especially when you're trying to find your feet again, you're coming back to something, or you're starting something new. Both times you're trying to find your feet. It's normal to gauge all the reference points, past, future, but bring awareness to it and check in and go, no, I don't feel that ain't it. What I was going to also share with you is that for the last 12 months, for me personally, all I know is I want to share this. That's all I know. I want to share this. I still don't know how it looks. I still don't know. I think probably the last 12 months, I've brought into my present moment what I think it would look like. Do you know? It's kind of checking with the feeling, but then it's going, well, what would that look like? I'm finding it difficult to explain it to you, but after 12 months, well, in my current moment right now, I feel like I don't care. I don't want to know what it looks like. Like, I want to just step right aside. I want to step right back. And that's where I'm at right now. I just have a feeling to share this. That's it. But everything else, well, obviously, if you're not speaking there, you're going to be sharing it online. So I've been building an online business for the last 12 months. But there's still something it's not that it's not it. Something's still not whole and complete in that picture, because I am still getting involved by looking and perceiving into what I think it's going to be. Like, I've never had to put myself in this position where it's like, don't even look at it. Don't you even perceive? Because the moment you perceive, you're influencing and manipulating. I've never had to play it at this level, because all the time I follow a feeling, and naturally you perceive, and naturally it's going there, and it didn't go there, went there, it went, but it just goes. I've never been in this position where I've been like, you don't look with these eyes. Like, I am forced in a corner right now, right? I have put myself in the corner to go, enough's enough. No more looking with these eyes. This is what you want to do. You want to share. That's it. You know what my mum said to me when I was younger? You just got to do what you love. That's it. You love to do this. That's it. The very next thought, and you know, I think personally I mastered that. Whenever I feel what I love, that's it. I love to do. That's it. But this for me right now is a next level thing, because I don't want to perceive the manifestation, if that makes sense. I don't want to see, because as soon as I see what it is, I see what I think it would be. And I am getting in the way. That's my process. So I've never put myself in the corner and gone, no, not to this level. Not to this level. Like, I was always allowed to see. It still would unfold for me. And, you know, the life that I've lived to this point of this moment, I feel what I love, and I go and I don't think about it, but I still see. I still had some influence, and it was still fine, but now it's not fine anymore. Now it's like, and that's what I mean. It's like total surrender, total, like, not just I'm surrendering to the feeling. No, not just you surrender to the feeling, you're surrendering to the whole fucking process. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So I'm sharing that with you because I know some of you in the last 2 months have been talking to me about, I can't believe, hey, look at me. It's acknowledge where you are, acknowledge how you feel, but make sure you take your awareness with you. It's been 12 months of me just, you know, some of you guys work with me, so you know, I'm like, oh, I'm trying this. And I say, well, we're just trialing and erroring. I'm trialing and erroring, like, just, that's where I'm at right now. And it's hard to explain this because nothing has formed. Even this feeling that I'm speaking to you about, it hasn't yet formed. I'm just grabbing the tip of it. So it's very difficult for me to, usually I am speaking about something that is forming. Back in the past, when I did OMG, I would talk about something that had formed. As we got deeper into the work, I'm talking about something that is forming. Now I'm talking about something that hasn't even formed. I've just got the tip of it. Just feel like it. And I'm just sharing you my process. And once it's formed, I will talk to you about what formed and what eventuated or what unfolded, or I'll share more about the process. So yes, this is probably one of my most difficult shares today, because I'm like, because it hasn't even formed. And normally I don't even talk about it until something's forming. But to me, this is the deepest level of surrender that I'm experiencing right now, that I have the opportunity to experience, should I say. Because I won't say that I'm there yet. I have an opportunity that is presenting itself. And I got to tell you, it presented itself probably 4 or 5 months ago, but I kind of, I don't think I really took it seriously. That's not what's happening, because this is what's happening. We learn a lot about ourselves and our processes through the happenings, through the story. So it's interesting, because I recently went away just this weekend with a group of friends, boys. We had a boys trip. And these are friends of mine that I've known for many years. And like I said, these are guys who have been in this same, we all worked together. In fact, most of them worked for me originally when we started the personal development industry. And I was sharing with them that it's interesting, because when I first started my first company, which was a promotion company, like, I just decided, and it was just there, and it was happening. Like, it happened immediately, and my results were like so fast that people were like, anyway, I won't go into but the point was, it was immediate. And when that part of my journey wrapped up and I moved on and I went on this soul sabbatical and I did nothing for 12 months and, soul searching and all that kind of stuff, and got to the point of realizing the truth for myself rather than what everyone else had told me, I then became a speaker and started my next company, which was the company I'm still running, B3 Events. And it was far more difficult. I expected to do this, this, and this, and it didn't. It didn't happen. It happened, but it was much more slower. It slowed me. It's almost like I was in slow motion now. Well, to continue the story, I then left this business, put it on the shelf, and went for aviation for 5 years, came back, and it's even more. I feel like I'm in slow motion. And I'm explaining this to my mates, and I'm like, it's just, I'm 40 and it just doesn't happen like it used to. I just decide, bang, bang, and here I am. You decide, and you're still moving in that direction, but everything's slowed right down. And, my mate's response was, well, it's different. You're 40 now, you got kids. So now you think about them and da-da-da. And I was just thinking, yeah, I get your point, but that's not it. I'm really not thinking about them. And in all my business decisions, I'm not thinking about my family because that's the family's covered. It's going to be covered. It's just going to, And to be honest, if I look back at those 3 very powerful, significant points in my life where I've made a comeback to something or I've started something, Like I explained to you at the beginning, when you start something new or you make a comeback to something, you're finding your feet again. If I had to put an answer to it, and I'm still not 100% clear, why is it in slow motion? It's like the first time you did something, you needed the belief. So things happened for you easily, and you're in your flow, you're in your element, and you perceive that you're doing it. Right? So it's important for me to experience that first time around, for me to now believe that, hey, I can do it. But as I come back around the second or third time in different, whether I'm coming back to something new, coming back to something or creating something new, it's like the part of me that thought was doing this is getting shut down for me to realize something far greater. Like that's my experience of it. That's what I'm pondering on at the moment. Like, now you really want to do it. Now you please step aside. And that's my experience. And the slow motion is because I am, when I start something new, or when I'm starting something, coming back to something, I bring what I think is my game. And my game comes from what I did in the past. And it's like something's pushing me back, going, you're playing different level now. You're coming back. You had your process for 5 years. Now you're coming back, different level. Remember I told you when I said to you, when I came back, after my first company, the second company I had was Be Free Events, which is all about speaking. And I felt to speak. And when I came back to being a promoter, to promote myself, it felt like I was learning to walk again, because you're not using your mindset that you had before on moving forward. Complete different mindset. Well, I'm having one of those moments again. It's been 5 years. I've been 12 months of, don't get me wrong, the last 12 months have been great. It's not like I've had a tough time, whether it's financially or family or health. It's been great. Like it's been a great journey, all right, for the last 5 years. So it's not, but I won't lie, I'm very frustrated inside of me because I can feel something's holding me back. I'm frustrated. I'm like, what is this frustration? Like, it's not like the story is not working and I don't have an amazing life. Like, it looks great. If you look at my story, it's like, it's a pretty decent, it's fun life. Everything, like, if you look at the story, you think all his goals are getting just ticked off by themselves. Like, if they were my goals, if a goal setter looked at that, like, oh yeah, it's just, but this, something's not allowing me to just go and share what I'm here to share. Not time, like not, and again, that's what it feels like. It feels like something's pushing me back to slow down. Like it's just, you need to leave that part of you over there. Because you want to play at this level, that part of you is no longer required. So you keep coming back with that part of you, and it's slow because you're carrying that part of you in a game that is different. That's my process. So, what does that mean? Carolyn, what does that mean?
I was raising my hand, but then I wasn't sure if you were done yet.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
I just so appreciate what you just shared on so many different levels. Because, I started this process of leaving my practice and building an online business a couple of years ago. And the things that you said that really resonated with me have to do with, feeling that things are different now. Like I'm not, all the things that I know have generated income, for example, for me, I'm not doing. And I even kind of defaulted and took a couple of jobs and, like from being a doctor jobs.
Yeah.
And one I quit after 2 days. And the other one, I didn't even make it 2 days. I think it was 1 day. I just could not do it. I just found, I had to go to people who were counting on me. I said, I am so sorry, but I cannot be here. I cannot do this work. And it just became very clear to me that, I'm not to use the old trusted, ways of just getting in there, being, like medicine is a slog right now. It's like, seeing 100 patients and always getting up early and being on call and all of that. And I just am not able to do it, not willing either to do it. So you said one other thing that I'm forgetting what it was, but I have felt kind of the same frustration that you gave voice to in what you shared. And it really makes it good for me to know that maybe this is all just part of my process. It's not, 2 years of trying to build a business and learning how to do online marketing and all of that stuff. It's been good, and sometimes it's been really frustrating.
Mm.
So.
Thanks, Carolyn. Thank you.
Oh, one last thing. I love the way you described first that you only talked about things that were formed.
Yeah.
And that makes me think of OMG. And then I remember FTW and how it was just an idea and it was forming.
Yes.
And then the third era that you're in now where it's unformed. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Greg?
I've been pondering on this idea of you can't solve a problem with the same frequency of energy that got you into the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the truth is, there's not a problem. It's the story. So, but I often think about how when you're in a situation, you're like, okay, what do I already know that will get me out of this situation? If you're feeling uncomfortable, but oftentimes you have to learn from what the situation is telling you to grow. And that's going to be what makes it not necessary to have that situation anymore. And I've seen that a bunch in my life recently where it's like, okay, I'm feeling uncomfortable. What do I know I can do to get out of it? And then I'll do those things. And it's like, oh no, this doesn't feel true at all. Like I have something else to figure out here. And I feel like that's been pushing me to grow a bunch more recently.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Fanny.
When you were describing the slowing down process, it reminded me of like when I teach authentic movement and I like encourage people to slow down to meet the moment.
Yeah.
And then be moved by the feeling instead of deciding how to move. And when you're describing it, it kind of ties into the pondering I've been doing about like living infinitely, the thing that's like been the seed for all of this. And when you describe that, this like thing that's in your way, it's like the deepest integration of like, there's no longer the duality between the identity that's thinking it's deciding and what's moving it. It's like this, it feels to me like a really, really deep integration. And it's like, it's almost bringing you to that point. Like when you describe the slowing down, it's like coming to the point of stillness where all of movement comes from, you know, that like paradox of truth. But that was what I was feeling as you were describing that.
Thanks, Fanny. Anyone else?
I had that Matrix scene come into, you know, when he realizes he's the one, he realizes he no longer needs to dodge the bullets.
Yeah, it's a different game.
Yeah.
I have a few things.
Yeah, Johnny, go for it.
I don't know. For some reason, the whole time you're saying what you were saying, I appreciate where that all was coming from. The part that really hit me was, you know, you can't play at this level with that baggage, in a sense of the past, you know, of how you've addressed it and it worked before. Or, you know, for me, I felt into that, like, identities, you know, there's an identity that's been built that no longer serves. So it's not about building a new identity even, you know, it's about being, for me, in the now. And, you know, the phrase that came up when I was listening to the module, I heard you say, you can't change the story. You can only slow it down. So the slowdown for me is different in the sense that I get that the story can feel like you're moving slowly in the story, but I find that if I'm jumping to the future, that's where it speeds up. And the slowdown for me is being about in the now, being, you know, in that moment of now is when I slow down. I'm there to appreciate where things are at, you know, and to fully feel where things are at for me in the story. So I recollected, like, I don't know, maybe it'd be interesting, April could maybe chime in on this one, but we were driving once down the 405, and all of a sudden, this was late at night, cars just came whizzing by us. Two guys were racing, and they got in front of us, and for me, it's almost like I could see what was going to happen. It was like a video game, and one bounced off a railing and skied right in front of us. But in that moment, everything slowed down. And it's like, only now do I realize I didn't change the story there. You know, that was an experience of the story, but time slowed down. I didn't really slow down time. I was observant of the slowdown of the time. You know, I'm not sure I can slow down time in the story. Maybe in meditation I can or something, but in that moment, it's almost like the story just slowed down. But you know, we both looked at each other like, wow, you know, what really just happened there, you know, in a sense. But you know, it's still something I can reference to and go back to, you know, in terms of story slow down and what is and what isn't, you know, I don't know. But yeah, so those are the things that hit me.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's getting dark down there. Are you at LAX? Where are you?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. It was nighttime. It was daytime before. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, I think it's time to move on to the journey, and we'll go through the OMG module, the journey. It'll be interesting to see what I will bring to that module, and how potentially that journey maybe has changed. Anyway, I'll leave it for the next session when we catch up. So I'll leave that with you guys. Thanks for being part of today's session. It was definitely a different one.